Hey everybody, this is Pablo with Mattress Makers.
And I'm Gabe.
In this episode, we're going to talk about how much you should spend on a mattress. So let's go. Okay, so this question comes up quite a bit, or comes up quite a bit in an indirect way, because I see the struggle of how much should I spend on the mattress? And it's an important question because this is an important purchase. So yeah, I mean, I can see the stress, and you want to be able to fit this in your budget, and you don't know what's the right amount to spend on a mattress.
It's more what we see like online, or maybe a inquiry when they give us a message, right? It's hard to see like when they're maybe not so much in the shopping in the store, but you can kind of sense it.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. On the little chats that come in, or the indirect little questions that they have. So I can see that's a struggle, you know? So thought we'd talk about it. Let's first look big picture and not overcomplicate it. Let's simplify this thing, because when people are looking for a mattress, they overcomplicate it with a bunch of little things that are not necessary. Yeah. There's basically 3 things you want from your mattress. Gabe, what are those 3 things that you want from your mattress?
All right, so I'll be Captain Obvious on the number 1, right? Is you want to be comfortable.
Comfortable.
Sleep comfortably.
You want to sleep comfortably.
That's number 1. Number 2, you want to wake up with no aches and pains, or just like, I felt refreshed.
Yes.
Right? And the 3rd is you want it to last you a long time, to do that over a long period of time.
We call that comfort life. You want those first 2 things to do that for a long time. So sleep well comfortably, no aches and pains, and you want it to last a long time. Comfort life.
Comfort life.
So when you're looking for a mattress and when you're trying to budget it out, keep those things in mind. Okay, so when you're shopping for a mattress or budgeting for a mattress, there's really 2 ways that you can approach this thing that we see quite a bit. Yeah. And it's price or value. If you're shopping on price or you're shopping on value. Yeah. Gabe, what is the difference between those 2? Because they are different.
Yeah, so price is gonna be what you pay for the mattress, right? That's, a given.
How much the mattress costs, and
how much is it gonna cost? What am I paying for this mattress? The value is what you're gonna get for what you paid. So you wanna just get as much as you can, get as much value as you possibly can for what you're paying.
Yeah, the price is the guy that comes in, and I see that guy every now and then that comes in and he's looking at price tags. You think he's shopping for price tags.
Just looking it up, he's like, wait, let's
doesn't
lie
even
down
the
on
beds
the bed.
with a price tag guy.
Let's see what feels right for you.
Or the Dream Cloud guy, or any bed in the box guy, So if you're sleeping on price, or if you're shopping on price, that's what you're looking for. The cheapest thing, and that is gonna be the bed in the box. You don't really care. Value, like Gabe was saying, is what are you actually getting from it? In other words, how well does it do those first 3 things, Is it sleeping well comfortably? Are you waking up with aches and pains? And is it doing it for a long time? That's the value. That's what you want, what you get from it. Also, it's what's important to you. What do you value? Those are the things, what are you valuing? Like sleep. I mean, a mattress is one of those things that you're gonna have the most physical contact with, and it's gonna affect your sleep. How well do you value your sleep? How well do you value your health? So, when you're younger, you take it for granted. When you're older, you actually, when I say older, I'm talking about in the 30s, you start noticing a difference. Like, okay, I'm a little bit more bougie now than I was.
What are you, like 36, 35 right now? Yeah.
I am celebrating my 10th anniversary of my 36th birthday.
Okay.
So that's how I say it. Price and value, almost never the same mattress. So, and a quick caveat, value is not only what's on the spec sheet. It's important, but it's not only what's on the spec sheet. So when it comes to value, there are a couple things, but one huge thing that really affects the value of the mattress, and that is usage. How much you're gonna use this thing. If you guys think about it, there's not a single purchase, with the exception of your home, but there's not a single purchase that you're gonna make that you're gonna have as much physical contact with as your mattress. Your car, you're not gonna have as much physical contact with. The average person spends about an hour a day in their car, and they replace their car about every 8 years. Your phone, you have a lot of physical contact with, but the average person replaces their phone about every 29 months. Again, your shoes are gonna be in there for a long time, but again, the average person, they have a couple pairs of shoes and they replace it every 1 to 2 years. Unless you're like my wife, a couple every month. No, she doesn't spend that much money on their shoes. That's not true.
Actually, you know what? Socks and underwear. You might have more physical contact with that than your mattress.
If you're not replacing, well, maybe for me, but not for you. You replace your underwear 3 times a day. So
it's hot in here. It's hot in here.
So take that aside with the exception of myself or Gabe, you're gonna keep your mattress. You're gonna keep your mattress for at least the longest, it's gonna be the longest thing that you're gonna keep, that you're gonna have the most physical contact with. So, is your mattress. So, doesn't that make sense to put a little bit more thought in it? Maybe set a little bit more budget aside for it too.
Yeah, spend more time in it.
You're gonna spend more time in it.
Put more thought into like, hey, let's invest some time testing out this bed instead of just looking at the price.
Yes. Okay, so here's our little framework when we say how to budget for your mattress. And there's really 4 buckets or I should say 4 tiers that we classify in. We got the short-term tier, which is about a $0 to $1,000 range.
Yeah.
If you're in that budget, if that's your price point, then I would say that's more of a short-term bed.
Yeah, that's like your guest bedroom, right? You're like, hey, twice a year, 3 times a year maybe for a few nights. Very short term.
5 years or less.
5 years or less.
That's my 5 years or less. You could get away with that.
Yeah.
But if it's a 29,000 hour bed that you're gonna be used every night, don't expect to get that much use out of that tier 1 mattress.
Yeah.
So yeah, entry level stuff you're okay with. Guest room beds you're okay with. Between a $1,000 and $2,000 range, then it gets interesting. You could have a little bit more demands, but you have to do a little bit more homework and know what you're getting at. You can actually get a good value bed in that $1,000 to $2,000 range.
Yeah.
And when we say that price point, that's in a queen size. That's kind of like the average of the typical queen size, is that to get into that $1,000 to $2,000 price point. But you gotta be a little bit more demanding. Gabe, what should they look for in that price point?
Yeah, it goes back down to just what we've always talked about, the quality of the materials that you're using. So
yes.
If you're starting to look in at mattress that has springs in it, you're gonna say, okay, is it gonna be a full edge-to-edge coil system?
Yes.
Maybe, hey, what's the gauge of that coil? Like, how is that mattress designed in the spring system?
Yes.
And then you look at like the foams, right? What's the density of the materials that you're using inside of it?
Yeah, and I would say you should expect, at least, at minimum, in that price point, at least 7 years out of that bed, of comfort, not just so does it kill you, but at least of comfort.
Yeah.
You have a little bit more demands, but it goes back, and this whole thing that we're talking about, it goes back to the fundamentals, especially after that in that tier 2 level on up, it comes back down to the materials that are being used, the components, the quality of those, and how it's designed.
Yeah.
And we actually have done other videos talking about that. I would say actually a recent one a few months ago that we did on mattress design. Look up that video because that does give you a big picture of what you need to look for in a mattress and those little things that can affect the actual value of the mattress.
Yeah.
So that $1,000 to $2,000, you can get a good bed on there. But again, like Gabe was saying, just look at those components carefully and you could be a little bit more stringent, but there's a little bit more lax too,
There is, yeah, but you can't say, oh, because I spent in that tier, I expect it to last me that 7, 8 year, 10-year mark.
Yeah.
Because no, they're not all created equal. That's why you have to make sure, look at the components.
Yes. Now, this is where it gets even more interesting, is that $2,000 to $3,000 tier. There's a lot that could go into that $2,000 to $3,000 tier. Now, Gabe, what should they look for in that $2,000 to $3,000 tier?
Yeah, obviously got to be that comfort, right? Again, if you're going to the materials that are being used, you want to say, okay, man, it has to be at least if it comes to foam, at least a high density foam.
At least a high. What's considered when you say high density foam?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
So they're using a 1.8 pound foam inside the padding instead of like a 1.5 or 1.2. It's just gonna last you a longer time.
This is where I would have a lot more just standards on it. If it's under a 1.8 pound foam in that level, like a 1.5 or we see that quite a bit. 1.5. 1.2 pound, especially now with fuel prices going up, with issues going on overseas.
Shrinkflation?
No, skimflation.
Skimflation.
We did a video on mattress prices going up. Skimflation is they cheapen the mattress. They might keep the price the same, but they cheapen the way the mattress is made. One way they do that is they use cheaper foam.
Yeah.
1.5 or even 1.2 pounds of foam. Yeah, this has 2 inches of this foam and 3 inches of this foam, but the foam density is different, and if there is less than a 1.8 pounds of density in that tier 3 level, I wouldn't even go with it. Yeah. Do not do that. That's where, walk away.
Yeah. Or if you're gonna go one that has latex in it, at least 2 inches.
Yes.
less than 2 inches, mostly is, not gonna do it for you for that in that price point.
Yes, that is just hypeflation.
Yeah.
They'll say that they have latex in there, but it's about a half an inch of latex, and that will jump you up another tier.
Yeah, and then what you'll tend to see in that price point is, and even in the tier 2 is going to be a lot of it's got this cooling this, it's got this copper that, it's got the cover, like that's where you're going to see more in the
tier 3,
in the tier 2 and 3, like what companies push out.
Yeah, mostly tier 3 and tier 4
is mostly tier 3 or tier 4. What
you're going to see that.
Yeah.
You're going to see all that. So, and that's the $2,000 to $3,000 range. Is that tier 3 is $2,000 to $3,000 range, and you're going to see a lot of that hype in there. Here's one thing I would not do. Another little standard that I would not get a foam mattress in the tier 3 level. If it's a tier 3 level, I wouldn't shell out the money for a foam mattress, just because and when I say foam, I'm talking about polyurethane foam, not latex foam, but polyurethane foam, because I know the costs of polyurethane foam and I know the durability of the polyurethane foam. So unless there was something amazing, I'm even talking about Tempur-Pedic, and that's a foam mattress, and that's a tier 3 or tier 4. I mean, at least a tier 4 or tier 5 level, And it's just the value of what I see in there. Going back to value for long term, I have a hard time buying that, you know? So that's tier 3. Now, tier 4, also very interesting, that's the 3,000 on up to maybe 3,000 to 5,000. I mean, that is going up there. Again, Gabe, what should they expect on the tier 3, tier 4 level?
Yeah, so you're going to see
3,000.
All right, so at that point, you're going to see just even now they're using a little bit more of the higher quality materials, right? They're making sure that it's at least, if you're going to go with latex, at least 3 inches. The foams that's being used is 1.8 and above. 1.8 pounds and above.
Yes.
The coils are not just going, hey, it's coil density, it's a foam encase. No, they're using actually full-on edge-to-edge coil systems.
I wouldn't go foam encase.
Nope,
and then
I wouldn't
in
either.
tier 4,
Yeah,
I wouldn't go foam encase. Even tier 3,
yeah,
I wouldn't go foam encase.
I would avoid that too.
Yeah, because that does cheapen the mattress.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's where you got to be careful, because then it's easy to get swayed by the story of these exotic materials in tier 4. When you're saying, why is this one better than this one? That's when you're going to really see, this one has this X Air Cool Max type of gel, copper graphite infused. You're going to see that, the diamond encrusted fuse, which is a real thing. You're going to see more of that talk in it. Now, I would only go with that. First of all, going back to the basics, if the components are like the high density foams, the construction is more minimal. I don't like, again, if you've seen our videos, I don't like a bunch of layers stacked on top of each other, because I have seen if they're just throwing more layers on top of it and they're adding another 1,000 and 2,000 on the price tag, that diminishing returns happens greater, because it's gonna break down faster, You're gonna get a lot more of that. You're going to get that dip a lot faster, and it's just counterintuitive. Price goes up, value goes down, because those layers are going to break down.
Yeah.
Now, where I would say it is okay to go with that, where I would lean towards upper tier, is if the durability is about the same. In our stores, tier 3 and tier 4, even sometimes in tier 2, you're not gonna get a whole vast difference in the comfort life, the durability. You are gonna get a difference in the feels, and there's things that, because this is more expensive to make, that's why we charge that,
right.
But if the tier 4 feels much better than the tier 3, is to go with the tier 4.
Right.
But if you cannot feel the difference between tier 3 and tier 4, like if they both feel great, even in tier 2, at least the ones I should say in our store, tier 2, I tell people, save the money, go with that one, because it's gonna feel, the comfort is subjective, but it's gonna feel the same for a long period of time, about the same amount of time. The comfort life is gonna be about the same.
Yeah, they're gonna be spillover from a tier 2, and it's like, right at the cusp of like being a tier 3 type mattress.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
we've got some of those, but it is, if the tier 2 one feels a little bit better than the tier 3 or 4, save the money and go with the tier 2. Or if they still feel very similar, save that money.
Save that money. Now, when I talk about saving that money, I mean, you guys might be looking for something that you guys really like you're looking at a tier 3 or tier 4 mattress, and you're like, man, it's a bit out of my budget. I don't know if I can afford it, And here's the thing, buy what you can afford too.
Yeah.
I want to let you guys know, buy what you can afford. Don't put yourself in, don't make a stupid decision. Don't make a stupid decision on something because it has the bells and whistles on it. I don't want you to put yourself in financial stress on this. However, some people you can afford maybe a little bit more than you think too.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's one thing I hate, man, is when I've seen someone spend $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 on their headboard, their bed,
Yeah.
but they're going cheap on their mattress.
yeah.
That drives me nuts.
We see that a bit.
That happened the
You
other
know?
day.
Yeah.
And it's like, you guys, let's get your priorities straight. Or I see them wearing $1,000 shoes, but they're getting the cheap tier 1 mattress.
Yeah.
I hate that. I had a guy once. He was
I remember
beat up-
this. I know exactly where you're going with the
I don't know. Are you-
story.
This is American Express black card, looking for the cheapest for his kid. I just want the cheapest. Do you have any clearance? Cheapest for his kid. He pulls out the American Express black card in his $100,000 car outside. I was like, brother, you got to get your priorities straight. But then again, he's doing better financially than me too. So I don't know. Maybe that is the secret. So get as cheap as you can on your kids, you know, so you can spoil yourself.
No, different customer.
No, different. Okay. Yeah. But anyway, I digress. There is more. So you guys can actually afford probably more than you think. If you guys are looking, like, you fell in love with a tier 3 or tier 4 mattress, but it might be a little bit out of your budget. Couple tips, Gabe. What are those things that you would recommend for if they could stretch their budget a little bit longer?
So, like we said, don't go to debt. Like if you got a credit card and you're just like, let's just throw it on the credit card and just kind of figure it out later. You know, you got interest on that. There's other options.
Other options, yeah.
Just 0% finance. There's so many 0% financing options available.
That's actually, yeah.
You know, and it's like there's no prepayment penalties. You're not getting charged any type of fee. It's you save that mattress for $2,000. You're financing it for, let's say, 24 months. That $2,000, nothing's added onto that.
That's a good option. Yeah, 0%.
Yeah.
Use someone else's money. Again, I'm not a big fan of using those things, but if, for a purchase this important, I would be okay with it because, again, 29,000 hours you're going to be on this thing. You know, it's going to be the most physical contact with, so it might be okay to go a little bit, spend a little bit more than you think you should, that you think you can afford.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. What's the other option, too? If they want to spread it a little bit more. How about clearance?
Yeah, there's clearance options, you know, as long as if it's still has a warranty, right? As long as the warranty is still intact.
Yep.
Anything breaks down. As long as it has the right components in it, you know, still like, okay, still made with the high quality materials, but it's on clearance. Maybe it's a floor model. And it's like, okay, their floor models are only tested every so often. That's a good option to save some money and yet still get a top tier mattress.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, there's options out there. You know, you can find some deals out there. I probably would not do like a Facebook Marketplace or OfferUp. You just don't know what you're getting. You know, you can find deals on that. You just don't know what you're getting on that. I have heard of horror stories, people getting an OfferUp or a Facebook Marketplace mattress that had the name brand. They save like 80% off, but then it's like, man, you know. So maybe get a black light before you buy one of those.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's our little framework and guide on how much you should think about when you're budgeting for a mattress. We actually put together a guide that breaks this down, like a little framework, a little questionnaire, and how much to allocate for it too, and it factors in how much usage it's gonna have. Really helpful, really good starting point. If you're not sure, you can just go ahead and click the link below and download the guide on it. And if you have any questions, if you wanna talk to myself, if you wanna talk to Gabe or one of our trained mattressologists, you know, just give us a call. Give us a call and the link, or click on the link below, we can schedule a call with one of us. You know, if you're in San Diego, we have 4 stores. If we do ship cross country, if you're looking for a mattress, we ship all over the United States. So hope this helped you guys. Gabe, anything else?
You know what? Honestly, if you like this content or if it was helpful, all we ask is that you just either hit that subscribe button if you haven't subscribed, like the video. I mean, that really helps us. And share it.
Yeah, thank you guys for watching. Sleep well. God bless.